Bass Pro Shops, one source. Brought to you by Global Outfitters Outdoor University.
I'm here today to welcome Rick Flippen back to Go Gundog for our fall series. Rick, welcome back. We're so glad to have you and your dog Chief.
Well, Sam, it's a privilege, and we're looking forward to another season.
Well, we had a great time earlier this fall and in the summer showing people how to train an operant Gundog. Tell us a little bit about how it's going to be different this fall.
Well, first of all, let's back up just a bit, because the purpose of these training segments is to help our viewers produce a great companion and a reliable gun dog. And what we want to do that where it's simple so anybody can do it. And so that's the purpose of what we're doing. And what we've done last year, we just kind of made a circle on a variety of training drills. This year we're going to do something a little different. We're going to expand, and we're going to start with basic obedience, because that's where it all begins. If you don't have an obedient dog, you're not going to have a gun dog, and you're not going to have a dog you want to spend time with at home. So we'll start with basic obedience, and then we'll go to basic retrieving, then we'll go to upland field work, and then we're going to move to advanced retrieving. These are 300 to 500 yard retrieves. They're very complex to do, and you've got to have an obedient dog to do it. And then we're going to take all of those drills and we're going to go to the transition work. That's where you take the whole training circle and you take the dog and you move all of those skills out to the hunting field. And so that's what we're going to do. And so we're going to have a variety of trainers help us out with that.
Well, that's a good point. We're used to seeing you and Chief, your dog. Tell us about some of the guests that you're going to have on the show and some of the other types of dogs that we'll be seeing on the Go Gundog segment.
Well, as you know, I'm partial to operant conditioning. I have my own style. It took me 7 years to figure out what style really belongs to me. And I prefer British Labs because the dogs just are very easy to train. They're calm. I like a dog with a calm nature. And they're also very versatile. So that's my preference, but it's not everybody's. And so last season, some of the comments that we got was that, hey, I have a Boykin Spaniel, or I have a Pointer, and is there any other dog besides a Lab? So I got with some of my other training buddies and said, look, you guys have got different training styles than I do, but the viewers want to see different trainers. They want to see different dogs at work. And so I've got 3 of the very best in the world. They're renowned trainers. These guys are great. And we're fortunate to have those guys. And we'll have them in on occasion so that way they can show us how they do their thing. But also, you need to have more than 1 or 2 trainers to do these real complicated drills.
Mm-hmm. Well, some of the most exciting part of the segment is when we get Rick and these other trainers in a room, set them around a round table, and they discuss some of the tactics and techniques that they use for different breeds on how to become and train an operant gun dog. So I'm really looking forward to that. Then we're going to also talk about different products that you would use and tools that you would use to do this dog training. Let's hear about that.
Well, as you know, in operant conditioning, you use very few tools. You'll use a clicker, you'll use a food and a whistle, a few more things, but there's a lot of tools available to the trainer. And some dogs aren't going to take to operant conditioning. If it's an older dog that's had no obedience skills at all and the dog's 2 years old, you probably have to be a little harder with the dog. So you'll have to use maybe a choke chain or an e-collar or one of those devices. And there's nothing wrong with any of the tools. It's the way that you use the tool. You've got to know how to use it. And that's what our trainers are going to do when we get on. We're going to show you how to use those things properly.
Well, I just know that you, the audience, is going to enjoy this new segment coming up this fall for us, and the diversity of how we train different gun dogs to become great gun dogs. And we're so glad to have Rick Flippen back as our guest host. His dog, Chief, as well as some of the guest dogs and other guest trainers we'll have him. So you be sure to join us this fall on Global Outfitters Go Gundog.